Hi, my name is Sean Vargas, and this is the first episode of WrestlePop. Now, WrestlePop is a show that mixes professional wrestling and pop culture. Now, the goal of WrestlePop is for you listeners to be yourselves with no apology. Now, with WrestlePop, I am going to review wrestling pay-per-view events, including WWE or AEW. I will also review movies, live concerts, conventions, or sporting events. And we'll take it from there. As I said, my goal is for you listeners to be yourselves. Now, what I'm going to review today is a WWE pay-per-view called Stomping Ground. It was held in the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington. Now, this event was streamed live on the WWE network. Now, it was a good pay-per-view event, although I wasn't, well, if I were to scale it, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10. The matches were good, the booking was good. Although the reason why I rated this pay-per-view is 7 because the main event kind of left a lot to desire. Left a lot to desire. Not only that, it almost ended the night on a dud. So I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. This pay-per-view, this event had 8 match. I believe it had 7 matches. So, but we'll start from the top and review this event. So, the kickoff match or the opening match was match one. It included Becky Lynch retain her Raw Women's Championship by defeating Lacey Evans. Now, this was a good opener. Lacey Evans held her own, and Becky Lynch won with a disarmer. There's not much I can say about this match. Although it was a well booked match, it was a good match, and I am glad Becky Lynch won. I am a huge Becky Lynch fan, and she just needs to hold on to the title for a long time. I just hope that the WWE book her well. Now, after this match, they gave a promotion on Ali, who is another up and coming superstar, who also needs to be booked well. Let's see what happens with Ali. Now, after this promotion, there was an interview segment with Paul Heyman, who is the advocate for Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock Lesnar, I believe, in Money in the Bank, he won the Money in the Bank ladder match, and he gets to cash in the title against whomever. So, is he gonna cash the title on Seth Rollins tonight? Is gonna cash the briefcase on Kofi Kingston? We will see. But that was the storyline of the night. Also appearing in the interview segment was Baron Corbin. Now, Baron Corbin also is set to face Seth Rollins in the main event for the Raw Universal Champion. And the storyline of the night is who is going to be the unbiased special guest referee. So we'll see what happens. Now, let's go into match number two, which is a very good tag team match, as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeated the New Day of Big E and Xavier Woods, with Kevin Owens giving Xavier Woods the stunner. It was an excellent high impact match. I remember the crowd chanting, "This is awesome," if I'm correct. And yes, it was an awesome match. So I'm looking at this pay-per-view and I'm thinking, wow, we are 2 for 2 with a good pay-per-view. Let's see if we can make it 3 for 3. Now, after the match number two, we have the segment with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, in which Nikki Cross is Alexa Bliss's new friend. And Alexa Bliss is set to take on Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Hold on, that was my Amazon Echo dot. Whenever it hears Alexa, it goes off. But Alexa is taking on Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Championship. And Nikki Cross will be in Alexa's corner. So now let's move to match number 3, which was another good match. Ricochet defeated Samoa Joe to become the new United States Championship. The highlights included Ricochet getting out of a coquina clutch, and he also got out of a clothesline, and he gave Samoa Joe the double knees and then the 630 splash for the win. I am very happy that Ricochet won. Although I'm a huge fan of Samoa Joe, I'm glad that Ricochet won. He's another up-and-coming, high-flying superstar. He's also deserving of a push, and I hope that he has a successful U.S. title reign. Now, after this segment, we had the wrestlers in the back applauding Ricochet for his victory, and including getting support by Triple H. And I believe that Triple H is the heir to WWE after Vince McMahon. So we'll see what happens with that. After match number 3, so now we're looking at, before we go into match number 4, now WWE is 3 for 3 in terms of matches. So I'm thinking, hey, this could be a good event, a very good live event. Let's see if they can make it 4 for 4. Pardon me for that, but I got allergies. But anyway, so like I said, this is about being yourself, okay? So I got allergies, you know what I mean? So now, in match number 4, Daniel Bryan and Rowan defeated Heavy Machinery of Otis and Tucker to retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Now, Daniel Bryan, the Planet's champion, or him and Rowan make it the Planet's Tag Team champion. He was awesome during this match. Now, what was interesting about this match is that the fans, they cheered heavily for Daniel Bryan. And now the reason for that is because Daniel Bryan, remember, the pay-per-view was held in Tacoma, Washington, and Daniel Bryan is from Aberdeen, Washington. So he's a hometown hero. Heavy Machinery are big-time bruisers. They did very, very well during this match. I'm a fan of Otis. He is hilarious. But it was an awesome match. There was a catapult clutch done by Tucker, and Rowan broke it up. There was a big face-off between Otis and Rowan. And finally, Daniel Bryan rolled up Tucker for the win. So another good match, 4 for 4. We're looking at this could be a great event. Finally, there's no finally, but they gave a promo after this match. They gave a promo for Extreme Rules, which is going to be held on July 14th, 2019. So after that, we go into match number 5, which is Bayley defeating Alexa Bliss in order to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. During this match, Alexa Bliss neutralized Bayley's right arm. Another highlight was Bayley's sun flip getting sunset flip into the turnbuckle. No, actually, Bayley sunset flip Alexa Bliss into the turnbuckle, which is a pretty heavy spot. Nikki Cross sacrificed herself when Bayley dove through the ropes. So Nikki Cross pulled Alexa Bliss out, pushed Alexa Bliss out the way, and that's when she dove. Bayley attempted to twisted Bliss. No, actually. So let me slow it down. Okay, so Alexa Bliss attempted a twisted Bliss. However, Bayley got her knees up, and Bayley gave Alexa Bliss the belly to belly for the victory. I'm glad that Bayley won this match. Sure about that. And there goes the Amazon Echo again. Okay, but I'm glad that Bayley won this match. She needs to have a good title reign. She needs to be pushed and booked correctly. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see how her Bayley's reign continue. Now after this, they gave a promo of the 24/7 championship. Now, the 24/7 championship, it could be defended anywhere, and anybody could compete for the 24/7 championship. The Raws and SmackDowns of the recent weeks have not been that great, but I've looked forward to the 24/7 championships. So last week on Tuesday SmackDown, they gave highlights of it. Drake Maverick pinned R-Truth in the back. Okay, I guess outside the ring there, he pinned R-Truth. Now, last week Thursday, they showed a clip of R-Truth crashing Drake Maverick's wedding and pinned him. And R-Truth pinned Drake Maverick right after Drake Maverick got married. That was hilarious. So the 24/7 championship continues to be a highlight of mine. Now, afterwards, we have the club and AJ congratulating Ricochet. And the question is, will AJ challenge Ricochet on Raw? We'll see what happens with that. Hold on 1 second, okay? Just these allergies are killing me today. Like I said, be yourself, right? Be yourself. Okay, so match number 6. So match number 6 is Roman Reigns defeating Drew McIntyre. Now, Drew McIntyre had Shane McMahon in his corner. Yes, so Drew McIntyre had Shane McMahon in his corner. Now, I'm tired of Shane McMahon. He is close to 50 years old. I don't understand why he keeps being pushed above other wrestlers. He needs to just sit down. The crowd chanted during this match, Shane is awful. And yes, Shane is awful. Yeah, we need to get rid of Shane McMahon, but Drew McIntyre had Shane McMahon in his corner. Highlights including Roman launching himself over the top rope onto Drew McIntyre, almost catching Shane. Roman giving a few Superman. He gave Shane McMahon 2 Superman punches. You have Drew McIntyre slamming Roman face first onto the announce table. We have McIntyre superplexing Roman Reigns off the top rope. There's a headbutt spear combination. Reigns also went for the pin at one time and Shane pulled the referee out. You have Shane McMahon hitting the coast to coast on Roman. At this point, I'm thinking the pay-per-view is going down the drain because I cannot take Shane McMahon. Also, Roman also after you also have it's Shane McMahon driving me crazy at this point. So let me just bring it back, bring it back. But you have Roman Reigns raising his shoulder on a 2 count. You have Roman Reigns giving the Superman punch to Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre tossed Shane out. After Roman Reigns tossed Drew McIntyre out, he gave the spear to Drew McIntyre for the victory. And Roman Reigns defeats Drew McIntyre. I hope this is the end of the feud between Shane, Drew, and Roman Reigns. It may continue. I don't know. I hope not. But we gotta do something about Shane. Get rid of Shane. Somebody toss Shane out. Give Shane a boot or something. But Roman Reigns defeats Drew McIntyre for the victory. Now, before the event, they usually have a kickoff that went from, I believe, from 6 to 7. I usually don't watch the kickoff, but they did give highlights of what occurred during the kickoff, in which Drew Gulak defeated Tony Nese and Akira Tozawa to win the Cruiserweight Championship. So the cruiserweight, they need to get respected. We need to respect the cruiserweight. So I hope that WWE starts to, respect the cruiserweights and give them like good airtime. So after that, we have match number 7, which is Kofi Kingston defeating Dolph Ziggler in a steel cage match to retain, excuse me, sorry about that, the WWE SmackDown Championship. Highlights including both being on top of the cage, they headbutt each other. Kofi Kingston gives Dolph the SOS, resulting in a 2 count. You have Dolph Ziggler working on the right leg with a knee bar. Dolph Ziggler gives a super kick, which inadvertently sends Kofi outside the cage or the cage door. We have a zigzag by Dolph Ziggler that resulted in the 2 count. Dolph Ziggler on 2 occasions tries to drag himself out of the door. Then you have Dolph Ziggler, and then the final minutes of the final moves of this match included Dolph Ziggler crawling out towards the door. Kofi runs, leaps over Dolph Ziggler for the victory, and the New Day celebrated with Kofi Kingston. So Kofi Kingston retains the SmackDown Championship. So okay, so far I don't know, because of Shane McMahon, we're at now 6 out of 7 matches that are good. So then let's go, and now we lead into the main event, which is Seth Rollins defeating Baron Corbin to retain the WWE Universal Championship. So this is where the event gets dragged down a little bit. So Seth Rollins shows up with a chair, and Baron Corbin announces that Lacey Evans is the special guest referee. So I guess it's probably playing off on the fact that Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are in a real life relationship. So the crowd, they weren't too happy about Lacey Evans being appointed the special guest referee after the storyline that lasted for all of Raw since Raw last week. So the crowd didn't like that. So after Lacey Evans was announced special guest referee, you have Baron Corbin attacking a distracted Seth Rollins. Now the crowd did not like this. They chanted AEW, AEW. They chanted CM Punk, CM Punk. They chanted boring, boring, boring. Let me tell you something. If I was there live, I probably would have turned against the match too. So, but highlights included Seth Rollins giving a knee to Baron Corbin, but there's a slow count by Lacey Evans. You see, and then Seth Rollins gave another highlight included Seth Rollins giving Baron Corbin a power bomb onto and breaking the announce table. This move may have won the crowd back though. However, since Baron Corbin was unable to make it to the ring, so Lacey Evans calls the referee and makes the match a no count out. Okay. So then after that, Rollins gave Corbin a splash, and Lacey Evans counts 1, 2, and then she feigns an arm injury. So I guess she's trying to say that her arm is hurt after there was disarmor from Becky Lynch. So playing off of that. Afterwards, Corbin gives Rollins continuous chair shots to the back. And after that, Lacey Evans makes the match a no DQ match. So now, hold on one second, my nose. So now, Lacey makes it a no DQ match. So now afterwards, Rollins gives Baron Corbin the Falcon Arrow on the chair. However, Lacey Evans refuses to do the 3 count. And then she slaps Seth twice, and Lacey gives Rollins a low blow, causing Corbin to give Rollins the end of days. Becky Lynch now comes down the aisle and attacks Lacey Evans. A new official shows up. Seth gives Baron Corbin a stomp for the victory, and Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch close out the night. So all in all, let's say 7 out of the 8 matches were pretty good. The main event was kind of, it was alright. At least the right person won. But at this point, I'm kind of done with Baron Corbin too. So there's 2 people that WWE need to get rid of: Shane McMahon and Baron Corbin. And that was your Stomping Grounds pay-per-view. I hope you enjoyed this episode of WrestlePop. Please bear with me. This is like my first podcast, and I hope to get better. Have other show ideas, and just bear with me. The next thing that I'm gonna cover with WrestlePop is AEW Fighter Fest. It will be taking part on June 29th, 2019 at 8 o'clock p.m. So, like I said, just bear with me. This is WrestlePop. Be yourselves. No apologies. This is Sean Vargas signing off. And this has been a Team Vargas Initiatives production.